started, Fun Spot America now has 3 properties, but we started as a FEC just like you are. We had 5 acres in Orlando that we started 20 years ago, and we have grown since that. Now we have 33 acres in Orlando in 2 parks, 8 acres in Kissimmee, 25 acres in Orlando. We just bought the park in Fayetteville, Georgia, south of Atlanta. That we have 116 acres there, and that's what John is working on now, is trying to develop that. But when I look back, let me put on my glasses so I can read a little bit here. Fun Spot America started in the tourist sector of Orlando. We had 5 acres, and we didn't have a lot of money, but we had a vision of where we wanted to go. We had learned about the multi-level tracks at Wisconsin Dells, and we had some ideas of how to build them. It's been 20 years, and I've been in the business for 30 years before that. I started right there in Orlando at a little go-kart track called Little 500 in 1968 or so. So it's been about 50 years that I've been in the industry. And we've had unbelievable success. And I could attribute my success to 5 different things. 1 is to have the right product or service. 2, be there at the right time, have the right timing. 3, be at the right place. 4, and then assemble the right team to make them all work together. And then the last one, but not the least, is to have blessings from God. He's got to bless everything you do. Today, I'm going to talk about the 4th one, the team, and how we develop the team and the culture that we put out there. So that's the soul of what I'm talking about today, is the Fun Spot culture. Let's see, what's the next one? Okay, let's go ahead and go to the culture. Well, let me tell you a little bit about it. Back in 2015, I read a book. It's called Love Works by Joel Manby. Anybody heard of that? Great book. I read it, and it didn't, although he's talking about the Silver Dollar City and Dollywood and Hershey Family Entertainment, what he was saying was exactly what Fun Spot America was. So I got it. I got excited about it. I went to my son. I said, John, you've got to read this book. This is exactly what Fun Spot America is. He said, Dad, you know how long it's been since I read a book? And I said, no, how long? He said, it was back in high school, and especially one that doesn't have pictures. And this doesn't have pictures, none. But I persisted, and he took the book, he took it home, and in 2 days he read it, and he came back, and he was excited. He was just as excited as I was, maybe even more so. But he grabbed the book, he started talking about it, indoctrinated it into our culture and everything else, and it kind of expressed our culture. Since then, we've gone out and we hired somebody to put together our culture guide. And this is just like the Ritz-Carlton has that little thing that they carry in their pockets. We give this away at orientation. We work through it. We talk about it. We have it in team meetings. We do everything with it. And this is what I'm going to go through today. But this is our culture guide, and this is what makes Fun Spot America what it is. So let's go ahead and start. Ben, you want to pass some of those out now? We have about 180, maybe 200 of these, and we can pass them out now, and you can go through them. But, well, how do I go back? Did I hit? Well, our vision, yeah, go back one more. No, that's good. Let me see. Well, it's a little bit different than mine, but anyway, this is our golden rule. Life is great when we treat our guests and team members as we want to be treated, with love and have fun doing it. Our vision is the main thing. We're celebrating people, creating fun, and making memories. That's kind of like our mantra right there. That's what we do. Then we go to the values, and there's 7 values that we talk about. And they start with being patient. That's our first one. Demonstrate self-control in difficult situations. We want to be patient not only with our guests, but with our team members. And it's a set of behaviors that we we want to build all the time, and it's hard to be patient. It really is. One of the things we use to be patient is what we call the 5-penny rule. Anybody know what the 5-penny rule is, other than me? The 5-penny rule is you start off the day with 5 pennies in one pocket. Then you go up to somebody and you're patient with them, you're kind to them, you do something good for them. You take one of those pennies out and you put it in the other pocket. And you go that throughout the day, and the goal is to take all of those 5 pennies out of one pocket and put it in the other, trying to make somebody else's day good, better than it was. So that's what the 5-penny rule is. The next one is be kind. Show encouragement and enthusiasm is the number 2 cultural rule. You have the opportunity to make someone's day, and don't miss that opportunity to always try to make it better. The enthusiasm that we try to impart the guests can never have more enthusiasm than we do. So we're always trying to interact with the guests, do something for them. So that's rule number 2. Rule number 3 is be trusting. Now this is a hard one too, because no one wakes up in the morning wanting to be dishonest. You know, everybody is basically honest, and everybody needs to trust their honesty. Listening to somebody talk and not interrupting is a sign of trust. When you interrupt somebody, that is a sign of distrust. So we always try to be trusting to those around us. The next one, number 4, is being unselfish. Think of yourself less. Don't think less of yourself, but always try to do something for somebody else. If Simon Sinek says, leaders eat last, and there's a reason they do that, because they're always putting somebody else in front of them. And the next value is be truthful. And define reality corporately and individually. We need to be truthful with one another. We need to be honest with one another. We need to be transparent with one another. And that's one thing that we always try to do. It's part of the golden rule too. The next is be forgiving. Release the grip of the grudge. The grudge controls you, it holds you, it keeps you where you are, it keeps you from going ahead. My son talks about the mirror and the front and the windshield. Don't look in the mirror, that's all behind you. Look in the windshield, see what's in front of you. So let's always be looking ahead, not behind us. Let go of that grudge. And the last one is be dedicated. Be loyal to yourself, your family, and your company. When you make mistakes over and over again, they become choices. So try to always do what is right the first time. John Jr. had this in his notes, and he wanted me to share it with you. He says, if you want to be happy for a day, go out and play golf. If you want to be happy for a week, go on a cruise. And if you want to be happy for a month, buy a new car. If you want to be happy for a year, win the lotto. But if you want to be happy for a lifetime, make sure you add value to everyone you come in contact with. And that's what we try to do at Fun Spot America. We heard at the Ritz-Carlton the other night that the turnover in the hospitality industry is 71%. Phenomenal. I mean, that's unbelievable. They're down at 20%. We have right now 430 employees. We have 550 in the peak of the season and about 430 in the off season. So what is our turnover rate? Our turnover rate is 40%. I don't know how that rates with everybody else, but that's what our turnover rate is. Every year we hire about 160 new people. So that's about what 40 times 400 people, that's about 160 people that we have to hire every year. But we try to indoctrinate our culture into everything that they do. And I think that's the end of it, right? Yeah, that's the end of the presentation.
Give them a big round of applause.